When you're adding integers, there are two different situations you might encounter. The first is when you're adding integers with the same sign, or with like signs. If that is the situation, what you want to do is first add together the absolute value of the two numbers, and then give your answer the same sign that the digits in your question had. So in this first example, I have a positive 3 plus a positive 5. So I take the absolute value of 3 plus the absolute value of 5, or 3 plus 5, to get 8. And since both of the digits in my question had a positive sign, I'll give my answer a positive sign as well, being positive 8. Remember, if your answer is a positive number, it's not necessary to write the positive sign in front of it. You could just write 8. In the second example, both of my digits in the original question have a negative sign. So when that's the situation, I know my answer is going to be negative. Or you can think one negative plus another negative should just result in a really big negative number. So I add the absolute value of 2 and the absolute value of 6 to get 8. Since both 2 and 6 had a sign of negative on it, my answer is going to be negative, or negative 8. The second situation you can run into are when the integers have different signs, or unlike signs. If that's the situation, we're not going to add at all. Instead, we're going to subtract the absolute value of the two numbers we have, big number minus little number, and then give your answer the same sign that the larger of the two original numbers had. So for example, negative 9 plus positive 3. The 9 is the larger of the two numbers, and it has a negative sign. So right away, I know my final answer will have a negative sign. Now, I'm just going to do 9 minus 3 to get 6. So my answer will be negative 6. 6 because 9 minus 3 equals 6, and the negative sign because 9 is bigger than 3, and we need to hang on to the sign that the larger of the two numbers had. In the next example, negative 4 plus positive 7, I'm going to do the same thing. The larger digit is 7, and it has a plus sign, so my answer is going to be positive. Then, just do 7 minus 4 to get 3. My answer here is positive 3, or again, just write 3. It might seem like there's a lot of rules to remember, but luckily, when it comes to subtraction, we're actually going to change all of our subtraction questions to addition questions and just follow those same two rules that we've already looked at. In order to change a question, you first want to change the subtraction sign to an addition sign. Then, change the sign of the second number to its opposite. So if it used to say a number minus a positive number, you're going to change it to be a number plus a negative number. Then we'll just complete the problem as though it was addition. Here are some examples. Positive 5 minus a negative 2. We always leave the first number alone. It's going to remain a positive 5. What I want to change is the subtraction sign to an addition sign. Then I need to change the sign of the second number. It used to say negative 2, so I'm going to change it to its opposite of plus 2. So really, now I'm adding two numbers with the same sign. Adding two numbers with the same sign just means to add the digits together and give your answer the same sign that your question had. My question had positive signs, so my answer is positive 7, or just 7. In the past, I've had students who like to say a negative sign and the subtraction sign cancel each other out to become a positive sign. If you're one of those students, that's another way of thinking of it. In the next one, negative 1 minus positive 5. Again, I'm going to leave my first digit alone. It's negative 1. Change my subtraction sign to addition, and then change the sign of my second number. So the actual question here is negative 1 plus negative 5. Again, when you're adding digits with the same sign, you just add the digits together and give your answer the same sign that your question had. So my answer here is -6. One more. Never change the first number, it's +4. But change the subtraction sign to addition and change the sign of the second number. This is another one of those cases where you might think two negatives cancel each other out to make a plus sign. This is a +4 plus +1, which just equals 5 or +5. Sometimes you'll run into word problems that have you consider adding and subtracting negative integers. One of these situations would be if we're looking at the difference in elevation between the top of a mountain and a valley which would be below sea level. In this situation, we consider sea level to be a height of 0. The question says, what is the difference in elevation between Mount McKinley and Death Valley? Mount McKinley is at +20,320 and Death Valley is at -282 feet. To find out what the difference in elevation is, we'll have to take our 20,320 and add our second integer of -282. Now, when I add integers with different signs, what I'm really going to do is subtract the integers and give my answer the same sign as the larger number had. So in this case, the larger number is 20,320. It's positive. So my answer is going to be positive. What I need to do is take that 20,320 and subtract 282 from it. So I get an answer of 20,038 feet. The difference in elevation between Mount McKinley and Death Valley is 20,038 feet.